Your Honor, this is my fiance, and we have been happily engaged for about 5 months now.
Congratulations.
Thank you. We met about 3 years ago. Mutual friends invited us to a lake house, and we just bonded over being outside and our love of the water, and basically just haven't been apart ever since. We work a lot, so we promised each other that we would make time for each other every Saturday and get ice cream because that was our first date and it means something to us. It's important.
So on this day, were you all going to get ice cream, coming from ice cream? Where were you going?
No, Your Honor. We had just finished eating our ice cream.
So you all are driving home?
Yeah, and just ran into this humongous, crazy scene.
There's just a line of cars just parked along the side of the road. There were also just a ton of police vehicles, you know, like with their lights on flashing. We get flagged down by an officer and he says, no, you guys need to get off the road now because there's a high-speed chase going on.
Okay.
And of course,
Yeah.
that doesn't happen in our town.
By this time, you all knew that something was wrong.
Yes.
Well, yes.
Mr. Hopper, before this accident happened, what was going on for you that day?
Well, Your Honor, I'm a social worker. I help rehabilitate women who have been battered and abused.
Very important work. Very important work.
I was, thank you. Your Honor, I was leaving. I was on my way home. And unfortunately, we're here today because of some lies that were told. And the unfortunate situation happened, and we're here.
Unfortunate.
So, Mr.
Wow.
Platt, you were driving this car, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
So how do you get hit? If you pull off the side of the road, how do you get hit?
By that point, I thought to myself, well, this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. So I figure, okay, I'm gonna pull out my phone and just, you know, videotape it. Just as I start filming, they lay out the spike strips, and then I see this car barreling down the road like a bat out of hell, and it's approaching the spike strip, and at this point, it's clear, okay, he's going way too fast.
Okay.
He swerves a little bit in order to avoid running over the spike strips, but he goes right over it, and he's trying to correct himself, and he just goes right into us.
Your Honor, I had nowhere else.
Do you remember this collision?
It was like a
Yes, Your Honor, I
2-second.
had nowhere else to go. It's a small road. I go down this road every single day going home from work. It's downhill. It's a rural residential area. And yeah,
So you're familiar with this road?
I'm absolutely familiar with this road,
Okay.
and it's downhill. You're right, I did hit a spike strip, but I didn't know the spike strip was there.
Were you speeding?
No, Your Honor. It's
You were
40
very much
miles an
going
hour
over the
max.
speed limit.
So you're coming down the road.
Yes, sir, it's downhill.
You're not speeding,
No,
right?
sir.
And at some point, you realize there's a spike strip there.
Your Honor, I realized there was a spike strip there all at once the moment I hit it and heard I didn't know there was a spike strip there till after it had happened.
Okay.
I don't know what I had hit. I just saw something in the road at the same time that I heard a loud
You hit
pow,
something. You
an
hit something, and you
explosion,
didn't
and I hit
immediately
a car.
brake.
And it's not my fault that there was a spike strip in the middle of the road, Your Honor.
I don't see
Thank you,
how
sir.
these lies affect.
Mr. Platt, you said that you were videotaping this.
Yes, Your Honor.
So you submitted a video to this court.
Yes, Your Honor.
I want to see it so you can tell me what happened. Let's take a peek at it. It's here on the plasma.
Look at this, look at this.
Oh my God.
Oh no!
What the? Why would they put spikes?
What the?
No.
You okay, babe?
I don't know. My head hit on something. I don't know what.
Now, Miss Reese, what are you thinking while this is going on?
Honestly, Your Honor, that video only captures a small fraction of how frightened we were in that moment. It hit us so hard that my head went through the window. And the only thing worse than that moment was the moment before, because it hit his side of the car. I didn't think I was gonna have a fiance in a minute, so.
You thought you all were gonna die.
I really did. I really did.
So, Mr. Hopper, you saw that video, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
That's you driving that car, right?
Your Honor, that
Sure is.
was my car before it was totaled because of the spike strips.
But you're in the car, right?
Yes, sir, I was driving the car home.
Who are you running from?
Your Honor, I wasn't running from anybody. I
Okay.
was just trying to get
Then why
home.
were the police chasing you?
I hope y'all will let me ask questions, right? Well, why are the cops behind you?
Well, Your Honor, that's an interesting story.
Well, tell it to me.
Okay,
Please
well,
do.
Well, the park actually had a new attraction called the Devil's Descent.
Okay.
It's one of the highest slides in the state, and I had to go ahead and make sure that I could get on, especially with my son being afraid of heights.
Heights make me nervous. I did this with my own son, who's now 28, trying to prove to him that I could do it, but I didn't end up the way you did.
It was the worst day.
Now, is this what you being prepared on the day of the incident to go down the slide? Is that you?
Yes, sir.
That's big sexy.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and you look pretty happy there, like you're excited and ready to have a good time with your wife and son.
I was.
Was your little boy excited?
Oh, he was excited. He was running around the park. I was trying to chase him and everything, trying to keep up with him. He's my everything, Your Honor.
Now, Mr. Hargrove, tell me about your park.
Well, this park has been in my family for 3 generations.
Okay.
My grandfather started it 32 years ago, and then he passed it down to my father. I have been running it for the last 3 years. We get over 7 million visitors a year now.
That's a lot of folk.
That's absolutely a lot of folks. And with that being said, with those 7 million a year, we have no injuries.
Now, you've got this ride. What's the slide called?
It's the Devil's Descent. It's a brand new ride, and it's the new attraction. It's why everybody's coming to get a ride on that Devil's Descent.
Mr. Simmons, today you don't look as excited as you seem to be in that picture when you were about to ride the slide. Tell me how this thing happened.
I go to get on the ride. It's actually about a 25-minute wait.
Okay.
So I have my wife and my son stay at the bottom.
That kind of builds the excitement though, right?
Oh, it does. And I know he's excited. I see him down there jumping and waving, and I know I'm gonna make him proud when I go down this slide.
Now, Mr. Simmons, you submitted a few documents to the court. One is a picture of the slide. I want you, if you can, take your time, but I want you, and Sheriff Matt, if you'll help him get over to the plasma, I want you to explain exactly how this happened, because I've never been on this slide, and frankly, don't care to get on it. It's too high for me.
Yes, Your Honor.
Come on, cross over. Now, is this the slide that you went down?
Yes, Your Honor. It's about 150 feet up. So when you get at the top, you notice that you're very high up.
Okay.
It's immediate. Up here, everything was fine. Next thing I know, I get to this second slide right here, the second bump, and that's where I was in the air.
You went airborne?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
I felt like I didn't touch back down till about here. And that was scary, because about here is where I noticed I had to be going maybe 60, 70 miles an hour.
Okay.
I'm flying. When I come down here, I feel it just continue, and I get to the water. Instead of splashing in, it just kind of skipped across the top here.
Like a stone on a pond?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Exactly. It was the most traumatic feeling of my life. Then I continued across, immediately felt pain as I landed on the concrete, and then I slammed into the retaining wall. I was thinking, oh God, I'm gonna die.
Yes, sir.
It was the most terrifying experience of my entire life.
Yes, sir. You may return to the podium.
Thank you.
Now, Mrs. Simmons, I've been talking like you're not in the room, but I'm watching your face. What was this like for you? You're standing there with your son.
To go from that and seeing him at the top all bubbly to now wondering if your husband's gonna make it, wondering if your son's gonna have a father, that was a drastic change. You know, to see your husband flying into...
Did he see his dad hit the wall?
He did.
And what was his reaction?
He's traumatized, crying in tears.
So you're trying to comfort him,
Exactly.
You're frightened about your husband, you're scared.
Exactly, yes.
Pandemonium. Mr. Hargrove, are you a family man?
I am a family man, yes.
You have babies?
Absolutely.
This kind of thing changes a marriage, changes a lot of things that are meaningful, true?
And I truly sympathize with him. But at the same time, it is not the fault of our company. I wish he just would have paid attention to all the warnings that were there ahead of time. We could have really, resolved the whole issue.
Well, how's he to know that?
I was going home to get back to work. Nice normal night like I always do, and I feel this heat on the right side of my face. I mean, it smelled like fire,
Heat.
and it felt like fire.
Okay.
My dog was going crazy, as if to alert me that, hey, we're both in danger here. So as far as I'm concerned, there was a torpedo coming at my face.
Okay.
So I turned my bike to dodge this bottle rocket, but instead I hit a car. And when I say I hit that pavement hard, it felt like a bus had ran into me, Your Honor.
So this bottle rocket almost hit you in the face.
My face, Your Honor. So I wake up in the hospital with a splitting headache. I can barely think straight. I'm just convinced that every bone in my body is broken, Your Honor.
You submitted a video. This video is not of the bottle rocket that almost hit your head.
This is a demonstration to show how explosive they can be. This could have
Okay.
been me, Your Honor.
All right, let's look at it.
Coming at my face, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Miller, is that how those things, I know they're not supposed to hit a house, right?
That is completely mishandled, Your Honor.
Okay, but that's how they travel. They are like little torpedoes or rockets.
They
I guess,
can
right?
be, but you're supposed to shoot them up in the air, Your Honor.
So how does it go past her head unless she's skydiving?
I remember it going straight up in the air.
Well, when did you know that something bad had happened?
I heard this sound, probably exactly like that one when it hit that building. It sounded just like that, and then I heard her dog barking as well. We asked if she was okay, but she was unconscious. I called the ambulance.
You would know because you let it off on the street. Like,
But
you can't
I have
Your Honor,
permission
he
to
let
be
off
there.
a bottle rocket near the street.
Why are you interrupting me?
Because you're paying your...
I'm going to do that all day as y'all get to talk to each other. The fireworks have already happened. They're not going to be in this courtroom today, okay? Well, why would she know that a bottle rocket's going to fly past her head?
Well, I think that she caused her own crash, Your Honor.
How's that? How do you say that?
She had a barking dog in the basket with her that could have completely been distracting
Your
her.
Honor, there was a...
You did have your dog with you, right? What is your dog is Buttons?
Buttons.
Okay. All right, that's Buttons?
Yeah.
He's a Frenchie.
Yeah.
And you took him with you that night?
Yeah, we go together all the time.
Now, when this bottle went past you, he also was startled?
He was alerting me. I mean, I knew it was going on, Your Honor, but he was startled as well.
He was barking the entire time
It doesn't matter. There was a torpedo coming
hold
at my
on.
head.
Dogs bark,
An
right?
explosive
Yes.
torpedo.
Right.
He was completely out of control, which could have caused the distraction, Your
Oh, so
Honor.
you think that maybe Miss Stewart crashed into that car because her dog was out of control?
Had I not reacted, your bottle rocket could have hit me in the face.
I made sure you got to the hospital.
Mr. Miller, let's talk about your bottle rocket. Those things are moving fast. You saw that video, right? This thing is a rocket. That's why they call it that.
Exactly.
I mean, that went by her head. Mm-hmm. Okay, what's the first thing on your mind when you open your eyes in the hospital?
I mean, how did I get here is the first thing on my mind. I just know that I was in pain, like so much pain, I can't even describe it to you. The doctors had me on every medication now to alleviate the pain, and it doesn't really help. My life was turned upside down by this accident. Like, I can't work right now.
It was an
I can't
accident.
hike.
That's the
Like,
thing. It was an accident.
Excuse me,
Just
you're
an act
negligent.
of God, or
It is just a fact of nature that accidents happen all the time.
And I could have died.
so these forces come together. A bottle rocket goes off. It's no one's fault. She hits the car. It's no one's fault. She ends up in the hospital. It's no one's fault. And this is all just a nullity.
Yes, Your Honor.
So I started noticing cockroaches here and there. And at first it was just one or two, and then they multiplied. I mean, they were everywhere. Like, it was disgusting. And I'm sorry if I'm super loud, but my hearing is a little gone.
This is a video you submitted to the court. You shot this on your phone?
I did, yes, Your
And
Honor.
this is in your apartment?
That's in my apartment. And that's just in the frame of, that's just in like this little tiny area of my apartment too.
Mr. Levy, I thought for a moment that Miss Newman was mistaken. Maybe these are those palmetto bugs that people try to tell me aren't roaches. Those are roaches.
Indeed, they are. We've never had any complaints from any other tenants about roaches in our property.
Well, how did you get hurt?
The morning that it happened, I had been swimming. I like to swim in the mornings. And I went to school, worked all day. I was exhausted. And I went home to get my necessities papers, and I was so tired I fell asleep on my couch.
Okay.
And when I woke up, I felt something in my ear. And I'll be honest, at first I thought it was just water trapped on my ear canal. It's not uncommon to have water trapped in your ear canal for 24 to 48 hours after you go swimming.
Yes, ma'am.
And I've been swimming for a long time, so I knew that. And then 48 hours later, I realized this was not just water. There was a cockroach in my ear canal, and I could feel every leg, I could feel every antenna, I could feel everything. It was literally inside my head, making its home in my ear canal, burrowing its way inside my head.
How did you know that there was a cockroach in your ear?
Because I could feel its little legs. You can feel it. You can feel it stuck in your. And forgive me for. You can feel it stuck in your earwax. It's really gross. And I had to go.
It took 2
I had to
days
go. I'm not
for
done.
her to-
I'm not finished.
for her to
I had
get
to
there.
go to the ER, and they put a video in my ear.
You
a camera in
submitted
my
that
ear.
video to the
Yes,
court.
sir. I did. Yes, Your Honor.
Let's take a look at it. They're looking in your ear. All right. Okay. Let me get this clear. So you had a cockroach in your ear?
In my ear, and it would have gone further if I hadn't taken action when I knew that it was a bug in my ear.
So that's what was crawling around. You felt the legs and things?
I couldn't. You could see the little hairs on the legs too, and I could feel them sticking to the wax in my ear. It was
cockroaches
disgusting.
do something to me. Okay.
It's like a horror movie.
So they pulled it out of your ear?
They did, Your Honor, and it was very delicate surgery. And they told me that now I have a perforated eardrum, which is a hole in my ear because this man didn't do anything about it.
Now, Mr. Levy, did you exterminate this place on a regular basis?
Yes, we did, Your Honor. In fact, as required in the lease, we exterminated every 6 months by having an outside contractor come in and do it professionally. And I have copies of the reports for you.
All right, Sheriff Matt, will you retrieve those reports from Mr. Levy?
And also the invoices.
Well, I'm looking at your invoice number 36571. It's billed to you and it's dated February 22nd.
That's
It says treatment, Target Pest, full service, and then it says Mark Levy. Is that your signature there?
Yes, it is.
So you had a professional exterminator in August.
Absolutely.
Can I just say something?
Yes.
It had actually been 8 months since an exterminator had been to the building, and in my contract, every 6 months one is supposed to come out. So he had ample time to find another one. Honestly, I think he was being.
So he was late.
Being a cheapskate. Yes, sir. He was late.
Indeed,
He was
Your
very
Honor,
late.
we were informed by our contractor that he was going to cancel the contract. It took me a while to find somebody else, but as soon as I got notice that there was a roach infestation,
you were on it.
I was on it, and I took care of it myself.
My friends and I were sampling a bunch of the different flavors that they had, and right when I was about to order, I realized how badly I had to use the bathroom. So I headed to the back, and when I was done, I went to flush the toilet. And Your Honor, I'm a germaphobe, and like a lot of people like me and tons of people all over the place, I decided to flush the toilet with my foot instead of my hands. So I balanced myself on my right foot and reached up with my left foot and pushed down on the flusher. And Your Honor, when I did that, there was this like intense explosion. The noise was absolutely deafening. There was porcelain flying everywhere. I didn't know.
The actual toilet exploded.
The toilet exploded. At the time, I didn't know what was going on. I thought maybe there was some sort of earthquake. There was porcelain hit me in the face, it hit me in the arm. A piece of it cut open my left foot. I was in so much pain, all I could do was scream. There was blood gushing everywhere. I felt so woozy, and I tried to scream louder to get my friends' attention to get some help. They came into the bathroom when they finally found me. It was right before I passed out. I had to be rushed to the hospital, and I was in emergency surgery. Your Honor, the blast from that toilet was so forceful, I now have permanent scarring on my face, and I've lost 2 of my toes.
Is that your foot? That was caused by this exploding toilet?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ice cream shop with exploding toilet. How does this kind of thing happen?
I remember that day very well. We were having a special that day. It was buy 2 scoops, get one free. Yeah,
Right.
we always get a lot of customers that.
Very popular.
Yeah.
Okay.
I do remember her and her friends coming into the shop. They seemed to be having a good time. I think they've been doing some shopping and they wanted to sample.
Every single flavor.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But that's what people do, right? When you've got these exotic flavors.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yes,
Yeah.
Your Honor.
You give them that little spoon, that not quite enough spoon that people give you, right?
Yeah.
How do y'all know something has gone wrong?
Well, the plaintiff comes up to check out. She wanted to know where the restroom was, Your Honor, so we pointed down the hall where the restroom was, and she took off to the restroom almost before I could even get out of my mouth. So.
Well, that's what people do when they gotta go, right?
Right.
Yeah, I guess
she really had to go.
She had to go bad, obviously.
Right. Yeah, but so it was probably, what, 10 minutes later?
Yeah, at least, yeah.
Yeah, and we hear this enormous explosion.
Right. It was
and this
so loud.
blood-curdling scream.
Yeah.
So then what did you do?
Well, everybody in the shop just was startled.
We didn't
Nobody
know
knew what the heck was going on.
No, we didn't. We were
So her
petrified.
friends took off down the hall to the bathroom, and I jumped over the counter. I don't know what's going on in the back of my shop. So I follow her down follow her friends down the bathroom, and she's in the corner of the bathroom, covered in blood, Your Honor.
Yeah.
Right next to my toilet that's in a million pieces.
There's paper towels everywhere.
Yeah, this was a mess.
It was a major mess.
I called 911.
He called 911, and then
That's a responsible thing to do.
yeah, we tried to help her as much as we could until the paramedics arrived.
I see a lot of bizarre things as a judge, but not people losing toes on an exploding toilet at an ice cream shop. Why isn't this your fault?
She caused the toilet to explode, Your Honor. She's the one.
How do you do that other than dynamite and a sledgehammer?
Thank you, Your Honor.
Because, Your Honor, she put the paper towels and the towels in the toilet.
Do you have
clearly have a sign
toilet paper?
on the wall that says, "Do not put trash in the toilet."
Your Honor, I
and that's
did not
why.
put-
Your
Did
Honor.
you see that sign?
I did, Your Honor, and I did not put trash in the toilet.
What did you put
Obviously
in there
she
then?
did.
Toilet paper that was provided by you.
Well, when we found
If that
you,
toilet paper
Talk to
wasn't
me.
fit for
When we
your
found
toilet,
you-
you shouldn't have put it in.
Talk to me.